What's good, Eagles fans? This is your guy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. So I was watching the National Football Show from JAKIB Media with Dan Sileo. Shout out to the boss, Big Dan Sileo. And he had Warren Moon on the show today. And Warren Moon had a lot of good things to say about Jalen Hurts. Now, he was very clear in the fact that they had to continue to develop Jalen Hurts and they had to continue to put weapons around him. But I'm going to let him tell you guys what he said, and then we're going to talk about it after the fact. So let's take a listen.
He's right in that conversation. Your take on Jalen Hurts, do you think the Eagles should build around him?
I really think after how he played this year, they should really take a long look at him because he is just continuing to develop. And they did a great job with him this year as far as figuring out what he does best, and they incorporated that into the offense. But I think as far as being a passer, a pocket passer, I think he's going to continue to keep getting better at it. One, because the kid has tremendous work ethic. I think he's a tremendous leader. You hear him talk in the media. He says all the right things. I think he's the guy that team wants to follow. So I think you do give him another chance just because of the progress that he made between last year being a rookie and getting the chance to play a little bit, and this year having a whole season, and then where he can go with another strong offseason to go off of what he did this particular season, and then a couple of more playmakers around him. The Jalen Reagor kid didn't work out the way they thought he did as a first-round draft pick a couple of years ago. With the young kid from Alabama, he's doing a great job. They've got somebody for him to work with there, but he needs a couple of more weapons to go along with their great running game. This could be a very dangerous team in that NFC East. So I think you go along and go ahead with Jalen Hurts and continue to keep developing him. Make sure you have the type of quarterback coach around him that's going to make him work and do the things that he needs to do to be a better pocket passer. Other than that, the kid's got everything you want as a quarterback and all the intangibles that come along with that.
Now, he said a lot in that statement. He talked about the fact that, like I said before, you have to continue to develop Jalen Hurts. You have to put weapons around him. But also, he has all the intangibles that you want in the quarterback position. A lot of people take that quarterback position for granted, and they think it's just all about talent. And sure, the talent gets you through the door. But who you are as a man, who you are as a player, your leadership qualities, your work ethic, that stuff keeps you in the room. And Jalen Hurts has all those things, the work ethic. He has the dog eat dog mentality, the desire to win, the desire to get better. And I believe that Jalen Hurts has a strong chance to get better. He's actually trending in the right direction. You can make an argument that the Philadelphia Eagles are ahead of schedule in their rebuild. Well, rebuild is sort of a blasphemous word in Philadelphia, but let's just call it a retooling or a reload. But the Eagles are technically ahead of schedule, and they finished the season 9-8. He accumulated an 8-7 record with 61% completion percentage, putting up 3,144 passing yards, 16 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 784 rushing yards, and 10 rushing touchdowns. Now, if you want to compare him to previous quarterbacks who played in this NFL who have a similar skill set as him as far as being mobile, and guys who weren't really or who really didn't have the most stellar first season as being the full-time starter. You think about guys like Michael Vick, and his first season being a full-time starter, went 8-6-1, 55% completion percentage, 2,936 passing yards, 16 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 777 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. Then Donovan McNabb went 11-5 in his first year as a starter, 58% completion percentage, 3,365 passing yards, 21 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 629 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. Then think about Josh Allen, a guy who's one of the best quarterbacks in this league right now, top 5 arguably. In his first year as the full-time starter, a 59% completion percentage, went 10-6 as the full-time starter, 3,089 passing yards, 20 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 510 rushing yards, and 9 rushing TDs. And then you think about Big Ben, a guy who wasn't really the most dynamic coming in, but he had a strong rushing attack to bolster his game. He went 13-0 in his first year as a starter. Remind you, he had a guy like the Bus running that ball. So you got to think about that. He's a Hall of Famer. But Big Ben went 13-0 in his first year as a starter, 66% completion percentage, 2,621 passing yards, 17 passing TDs, 11 interceptions, 144 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. So when you think about Jalen Hurts' numbers in comparison to those guys, and sure, different circumstances dictate different outcomes, right? But when you think about it from strictly the numbers perspective, he's right in line with those guys when you think about their first year as the full-time starter. And Jalen Hurts was able to get the team to the playoffs. That's the most wild thing about it. A team that no one expected to actually make the playoffs, or a team that no one even expected to win 4 or 5 games. Everyone said we're not going to win any more than 3 or 4 games this year. And they knew our current schedule. But they like to shift the goalposts now that we made the playoffs. Sure, we got booted out in the first round against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but a lot of people like to say, well, we had a weak schedule. Well, y'all knew the schedule prior to the season, and y'all still said we only were going to win 4 games. Yet, we do what we did with our schedule, and now the rules have changed. The goalpost has been moved, but that's okay, though. We all know if Jalen Hurts was a first-round pick, they'll be singing his praises. But because he's a second-round pick, they want to treat him a little different. They want to judge him a little differently, and they want to have him on a shorter leash. I can live with that. But so far, Howie Roseman has committed to him as being the 2022 starter at the quarterback position. Now, this doesn't say that Howie Roseman won't keep his eyes open on the Russell Wilson sweepstakes or the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, right? Or even the Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo sweepstakes. But nonetheless, when you think about what Jalen Hurts brings to the table, you can definitely build around this guy. You can definitely nurture his talent, and this guy can definitely lead his organization to more wins, not just in the regular season, but in the postseason as well. And I'll leave it at that. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry.